really a story that is angelic, because I would not even suggest that anybody repeat the way that we started this business. You know, they were just blessings and luck, and the brainchild that was SCR was craziness. There was never a time where we said, oh, we want to go into the transportation business. Stan was consulting financials, and he met this one man, and the man had an ambulance and he had two Medicars, albeit not in very good shape. Stan was looking for something to do. He was working a 9 to 5, and he's too busy he's a busybody. And so, but then the fact that I worked as a medical social worker at a hospital, I still had friends and everybody, and I'd say, send us 4 trips today, or send us 6 trips today. And she'd say, okay. And we started like that. We then had a very nice man that said, I've got some vehicles that are used, but you guys can start to buy them from me on a payment plan. We're like, oh my goodness, what a blessing. So we would start off with 2 vehicles and eventually got up to 10 vehicles. And then, so that was sort of working. We were like, okay, this could work. And then one day, without my knowing, Stan went and got the bid for a contract. He tells me, look, and I said, what are you doing? You know, we've got to have 15 vehicles, and they want them new. And anyway, Stan would just be the brainchild, and I would have to be the one to say, we got to make this happen. We got to hire the drivers. We got to find the vehicles. The funniest story is when Stan said, we're going to bid on the CTA contract, which is now the PACE contract. And he had us in this position of, we won the contract. And so we had to have 15 white vehicles. That was the insistence. And back then we had the phone books. And I scrolled through the phone books and called every single leasing company, car company. And my pitch to them was, we will even share our check. We'll have you as the co-receiver of our check from PACE, and then you can take your money out and then give us the rest of our money. Everybody said, no, 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 we don't do that. Until I came across this one lady, and her name was Erin Valentine. I don't even know if she's still out there. But she said, you know what? You guys need 15 vehicles or you're gonna lose them. And if I don't sell 15 vehicles, I'm gonna be fired. And they had given us a deadline by which time we had to have the vehicles in. Well, the day they came in to inspect to see whether or not we had the vehicles in, they were walking in, and we took 15 drivers way out somewhere, and they were all bringing in these 15 vehicles. But they were station wagons, they were Chevys, they were whatever it took, but they were 15 white vehicles, and we made it. And the people came through, and the guy that ran it, he had our backs, but everything was legal. He said, I can't believe you guys did this. And so we couldn't believe it either.
I had to borrow money from a good friend of mine that luckily I had helped him out in my prior position and helped his company out. So I went to him, he said, man, anything you want, I'll help you out because you helped me. And that's how we made our first payroll. So the whole process was a gamble. But we gambled on each other, and when I would go into these opportunities and say, okay, let's try to do this, try to do that, I would definitely have to pull off of Pam's intellectual background and let her fill out the paperwork, let her do the proposals and all that good stuff. I could talk the game, and I did know how to motivate people.
We knew that we had to be the best. We had a lot of people coming at us, a lot of people saying, you guys are competing against people that have been doing this for years and years. We just kept our heads forward. We got really close with our employees. They all understood our plight, and everybody got together and said, we're gonna do this. And so we had fantastic drivers, call center agents, dispatchers, every facet of the company, but they were dedicated to making sure SCR made it.
Picnics, the Christmas parties, what we realized was that if we treat our employees properly, treat them well with empathy and concern, they would do the same to our customers. And our customers are literally what were our biggest ambassadors. They would tell everybody else, if you want good service, you want dependable, nice drivers, you better go to SCR.
Well, our customers would show up at the picnics. We're like,
Yeah,
this
they
is
would.
supposed to be for employees. But every year, they had rides scheduled with us to come to the picnic. So they were part of the family too.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm still getting calls every day
To
from
this
customers.
day. But it just makes us proud. It just shows that this was not a plan. Nobody went to school for this. You know, it just sort of all fell into place because basically from what we were doing in the past, our prior jobs, and just our natural instincts. And so that's where we are now. We brought our sons on board, and, you know, they learned the business, they lived the business, and so now they've come to enjoy the fruits of their labors, and they're gonna just have to continue to work hard with Beacon and continue to grow. And we think that's really the basis for SCR's success, treating people like they need to be treated. And that's why we're so happy to come together with a group like Beacon and just join forces and continue to grow.
What are you most proud of over the years?
We're still here. Do it all.
And being married.
being
still
married.
married.
Not everyone can do it, but what was the secret to not only having a successful business, but
Well, we
staying
had
happily married?
We had to make a rule, no discussing business at home. And so that was our rule. So whatever arguments Dan and I have had over these last 40 years, it's always about the business. And so
Always.
we just say, that's enough. We want to keep our family cohesive. We don't want any kind of anything going wrong. Our family is first. This SCR family is second. And then now joining with Beacon. It's a big deal.
Prior to now, started to kind of prepare for that eventual transfer, knowing that the longer we stayed with SCR, it would probably stymie some of the growth, right? So I knew I had to get, at some point, I had to get the heck up out of the way. Paratransit, same thing, we're 24/7. Calls are coming in all day, all night. To get out of that stress for a minute, I just want to take a deep breath and chill.
Me too.
And we'll worry about that in another year, maybe. You know.
Told Stan he cannot golf for the rest of his life. He will go crazy. And so who knows? I know we're going to spend a lot of time in Florida. And we're also going to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of our lives. I see SCR in 10 years as being one of the preeminent paratransit, school bus companies in the world.